Good afternoon, parents and students of St. Mary's Junior Senior High School. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to connect with you to give you some important information about the continuous learning plan that teachers at St. Mary's Junior Senior High School has been working on since last Thursday. Our teachers and staff met again this morning to work on plans. I'm very excited about the plan we have in place for our students. The first order of business that was discussed this morning was student materials. Your student's legacy hour teacher is the first point of contact to get your student ready to learn in this continuous learning model. All students should have been contacted by their legacy hour teacher. That's grades 7 through 12. We are still waiting to hear back from some of our students and parents. Students and parents, if you have not been in contact with your teachers, please send them an email so that they can make sure you have what is needed. Items that we are calling essential include our Chromebooks, Chromebook charger, and internet access. If your student does not have these materials, please contact the student's legacy teacher or call the school at 785-437-6257. Please stay tuned to a plan to allow students back in the building to clean out their lockers and to retrieve their personal items following our health department guidelines. As of now, this will be scheduled for next week. Again, stay tuned for more information on how that will work. Our office staff will be available to take calls every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you have any questions, please give us a call, and we will do our best to help you get what you need and answer your questions. I mentioned your student's legacy hour teacher as the first point of contact earlier. On this coming Wednesday, March 25th, our legacy teachers will be holding their first live video Google session through Google Hangouts with their legacy hour students. High school students will be meeting at 9 a.m. and junior high students will be meeting at 10 a.m. Students and parents, please be looking for information from your legacy hour teacher. As we navigate through this process of distance learning, we want to continue to allow our legacy hour students to connect through organized video chat twice a week. Legacy hour teachers have been assigned to help students stay connected and stay on top of work that needs to get done. All high school legacy hour classes will have a 30-minute live video session from 9 a.m. to 9:30, Mondays and Fridays after we get going on the 30th. Junior high will connect from 10 a.m. to 10:30 on Mondays and Fridays starting the 30th. Again, our first session will be Wednesday, March 25th as a test to kind of make sure we got everything going. High school will be at 9 a.m. and junior high will be at 10 a.m. After next week, we will not chat this coming Friday. After next week, starting the 30th, you will be chatting with your legacy hour groups every Monday and Friday. High school at 9 a.m., junior high at 10 a.m. I want to begin to lay out the framework for our continuous learning model. When students report to the building, a framework is put in place to help them receive instruction and do their work. For example, we have designated hours where students attend classes during those hours. A similar framework will be used for distance learning when our kids are not in the building. We will divide up instruction to make sure we are not overwhelming our students. That is our number one goal. We want to make sure all classes have time to work with their students without competing with other classes at the same time. Each teacher will have a standalone time. This will be called office hours. Doesn't necessarily mean that those teachers will be in our building, but they will be holding a Google Hangout, not video, just through chat during their office hours. Students and teachers will only be allowed to chat during their office hours on Google Hangouts. It's very important that we limit the amount of platforms that we'll be using through this model. Parameters and expectations for Google Hangout chat will be discussed on this video Hangout on Wednesday. It is recommended that teachers use recorded video instruction and use Google Classroom using Screencastify instead of live video chat as much as possible. Again, I will mention that instruction does not have to be limited to video. It may come in many forms, but it is our intention to limit live video chats for instruction to allow flexibility for the learner. This allows students to rewatch and watch when they have time and availability. Core and elective subjects will be divided and have designated days. The goal is that students don't exceed or are not assigned work that takes over 3 hours a day for students to complete for grades 7 through 12. We do not want students to be overwhelmed. We want to help them manage their time, as many have not learned this way before. This document that I'm sharing right now is an example of what Mondays and Wednesdays will look like for our students. Mondays and Wednesdays, English, social studies, graphic design, financial lit, physical education, Spanish, band, study skills, and technology. This is grade 7 through 12, will be the emphasis. Below, you can see the office hours that teachers will be available for students to ask questions during that time. Here's an example of what Tuesday will look like. Math, science, facts, ag, art. We have scheduling questions potentially with Mrs. Hurla, business, vocal music, and study skills. You can see the office hours for those teachers that have been designated and set aside. Your teachers and your legacy teachers will be sharing this information with your students as well on Wednesday. Fridays will be independent reading time and homework day. Please encourage your students to be reading something. Mrs. Napier will be sending out information on how students can access books online. Students will use Friday as work days or on anything that they need assigned if they haven't already completed those assignments. On Fridays, all teachers will be available from 10 to 12 p.m. to ask questions on Google Hangout. Again, on Wednesday, the 25th, our teachers will be outlining these expectations and parameters with the students in Legacy Hour. Again, your students will be receiving information again on Wednesday. We certainly have your students' best interest at heart. It is disappointing that we have to learn in this form and fashion, but I know we will be successful, and I know we'll do our best to give you what your student deserves. I encourage parents and students to also use your Legacy Hour teacher for questions. Thank you all so much for working through this and watching this video. I believe in the long run, this is going to make everybody stronger. Please let me know if you have any questions. Go Bears and have a great rest of your day.